A lot's happened in the last 2 weeks.
You see, the thing is, so as I said, let's rewind almost 2 weeks now. It is Tuesday today, so yeah, 2 weeks ago today exactly. Me and Bibi flew out to Slovenia, I think it was, but then we drove down to Croatia, which is where we were racing. It was a four-day stage race, but that was including a prologue on the first day. So to kind of bring you right up to speed, the prologue went really well, I suppose, as a team. Rob McCarthy, who was on the channel, if you remember that live video that we did, that kind of the audio was a bit messed up. He was second in the prologue, so that was a really good start for us. Ended up going into the race actually quite fresh. But I didn't know really where I was at. Obviously I raced that one race down in south of England. I guess the first road stage. Finished up a climb. Let's say the climb was 5k. The last kind of 800 metres were cobbled, but it went up pretty viciously. For those of you who are in the UK, which is a big chunk of you, it's like Lincoln, the Lincoln Grand Prix. I mean, we were doing like 20 mile an hour up it, and then all of a sudden it would turn and hit these cobbles. But anyway, the whole kind of plan, I guess, that day was to see how everybody was going. We got to that climb, bit of a free rein for everybody, and then I was gonna go kind of maybe with 2k to go. There was a bit of a false flat, which there wasn't really. I got caught with like 400 metres to go on the cobbles, so I was in first place for a short time. The last climb was around about 5.8k at 5%. We averaged 30k an hour, and I averaged 361 watts, so it normalises around about 380 if I remember rightly, which made it quite tough, you know, 12 minutes at 380. So going from that, the next day we rode to the start. It was only a couple of k, like 9k. It was one of those days, you know, where it was grippy all day. That day was fairly difficult. Like I was actually quite tired after that stage. You know, that last climb, everyone was kind of hyping it. This one, it was 5.2k at 7%. Now today I actually averaged 380, so goodness knows what my normalised was. A few hairpins to deal with on that climb as well. Took us 13 minutes. This one I did actually have a go on, like a serious go. It was a little bit weird actually. Didn't really know what to expect from myself and you know, the other guys on the team. If you follow us at the time, you know, some of the guys had, you know, just come back from illness. Granted, I've just come back from illness, and you know, we didn't really know who's got the legs and things like that. And it's always like a confidence thing, you know. A lot of people struggle to know where they're at, and that's perfectly normal. You know, you're not going to know exactly how well you're going, especially if you've been ill. You haven't had a chance to test yourself. So, but I did get a little bit excited, and being that I hadn't raced that much, I just sensed the finish line and kind of went for it. Nothing came from it. I finished like 12th or 13th on the stage, which I guess you could take a lot of positives about that, but in terms of a team performance, it was a little bit on the negative side. Nobody was in a GC contention overall, and we kind of had you know, just one day left then, the last flat stage, to kind of salvage something out of it. But in terms of, I guess this is my YouTube channel, so I guess, you know, my point of view is it's kind of the only thing that matters really on this channel, and that's you know, I was physically happy with where I was, but more so physically surprised, and that put me on kind of another level, I guess. The next day was really bad in terms of weather. It was a bit miserable, and you know, all heads down for a bunch kick for Rob. Unfortunately, probably a combination of a lot of things. Cold got to me. Obviously, being a little bit leaner than I actually want to be at this point in time, that was something I hadn't factored in. the kit I was wearing was fine, like I just wasn't really wearing enough of it. Riding in the rain for 4 hours and you know, just the road dirt and stuff like that, that's something you got to take into consideration as well. The crap coming off the road, you know, gets on your water bottle and you're drinking it, and that's kind of like, I know you can't really avoid it, but it's not really healthy. So that's where we were for that last day. It's always like really difficult first few races of the season to try, unless you've all been there. Like, that's the thing as well, when you're swapping riders out to do different races. So me and Bibby had just come in to do, you know, this stage race. We hadn't been there for the Croatia camp because some of the boys had been there for 3 weeks racing one-day races. Trying to get us all to, you know, cohesion there and then is difficult. It's doable, but it's difficult, and it only takes one of you to have a bad day and then like somebody else to like not be feeling great. You know, we've got to be dedicated and in tune when we do it. You know, there's no good kind of half-heartedly trying to do a lead out. I'm not saying that's what was going on, it's just that it is always difficult. We didn't come away from anything on that last stage at all. A little bit of a downer to end on, I guess, but that's the truth, that's the reality. So you just move on, you take the positives from it. You've got to, you know, there's absolutely no point in taking negatives from a race like that. So especially when it's so early in the season, you know, that was the beginning of March. Monday I drove back to Cardiff, stayed with Charlie. I think I drove back, yeah, Tuesday I drove back to Slightly, back home. But then, you know, with so much travelling, I didn't really feel that I'd recovered properly or rested. At this level, we take kind of recovery quite seriously, and I think when you rest, you really do need to rest. And I think also travel days now have now become training days almost. The amount of stress or kind of you know, bacteria you get exposed to in airports and things like that, almost goes down as a training day for your body. So you kind of take that extra day off. So I got back on it on the I think I did actually go for a ride on the tube. It was only like an hour and a half, so it wasn't like that bad. And then I did another ride on the day after. I did 2 hours on the Wednesday. Still, there was nothing really to be weary of. And then I woke up on the 15th. I didn't feel great the evening of the 14th, and I woke up on the 15th, and yeah, I had like a kind of a tickling in my throat and like really far back in my nose. It was like I had like from Thursday till Monday yesterday. Monday was my first. I rode the turbo yesterday, so that was the kind of, that was where I was at. Yeah, my first day back was today, and I did 3 hours, but it was pretty steady, But yeah, I guess that's the update.